Hey there, it's Mr. Pupil, and today I'm super excited to walk you through Superlife V2, the ultimate Notion system to help you organize everything in your life effortlessly. If you've been looking for a way to stay on top of your goals, habits, finances, and daily tasks without feeling overwhelmed, you're in the right place. Superlife V2 takes everything from the previous version and makes it smarter, more streamlined, and way more powerful. In this video, I'll show you exactly how it works, how you can customize it for your life, and how it can help you get more done with less stress. So let's dive in. All right. We've arrived at Superlife Plus. Let me just say right off the bat that the only difference it has right now is the finance section. So the difference between Superlife Plus and regular Superlife is this finance feature. And let's get started. And I can explain more about this later. Now let's dive in. So first of all, here we can see our tasks. It's really easy to add as many tasks as we want by just tapping this button, tap. Here we can also see the time for our tasks, and you can notice that all tasks have been completed in a few minutes. We can easily check off the tasks we've done, and we can stop them whenever we want. And we can see the total time that this task has been worked on. Let's actually see how it works in practice. For example, if I go, let me open this task and come to this section to stop its timer. And for example, let me look at this Tesca here and change its constant time. And for example, I can easily type 10. You can see that this Tesca is now. So if I come back and change the timer for this task again to the same or 3 hours, you see this task was worked on for an hour. A small bug resets the timer when started, but I'll fix it. So it's set. Now let's move on to our projects. In the next section, here we have our projects, which means you can easily see the projects you're currently working on or haven't started yet right here. You can also add as many projects as you want, however many you like. For example, I can take these and I'll delete these projects. I'll delete this project too. I'll delete this project too. You can easily add projects. The projects are in them. Unfortunately, this project doesn't have any related tasks. Here you can easily see the tasks related to your project and give priority to it. For example, you can mark it as urgent. Now I can click Add Task here to add tasks that are related to this project. You can see that tasks are being added, and it actually shows that this project has worked on it so far. The total number of hours worked on these projects is 1 hour, 3 hours, a minute. And if I add this, let's add a new task. You can easily see that this project's time is being added. See, here it's 10 hours, one more. I'll add another 10 hours. It'll be 20 hours, 6 hours, 9 hours, and so on. The time you've spent on this project so far is beautifully recorded for you, and it tracks every task you've worked on for this project. Now, let's move on to the next exciting step. Here, you can very easily track the various goals that you're currently working on, whether they are active, paused, or in progress. You can use this simple yet effective formula and property to see exactly how much progress has been made. It comes with advanced facilities, such as if I were to open it. And if you go to this page, you will see that we have progress. Where does the progress come from? We get the progress from this section. In fact, the more I tick, you will see that the progress goes up, the task is ticked, and the progress increases. In fact, we see that the tasks we have for this project are counted there. And every time we check off one of these tasks, it counts them up, divides by the total number, and calculates the percentage. The result is that we see 53% here. If I uncheck this task, you can see it drops to 40%. This progress shows you how far you've come towards your goal. For your goal, you can say that your income is, for example, $10,000. If my income hits $40,000, I check it off too, reaching 100%. It's easy to set tasks and track progress. You can see your financial situation, and so on. We'll close this now. As we go back down, you can see that it gives you a very clean overview of how many goals you have in your bucket, how many you've reached, how many are in progress, how many are paused, and unfortunately, how many you've lost. In the next section, we get to the habits. In the habits section, we come to the conclusion that every day, a new card is created for you. This means that every time you enter a new day, you get a new card like this. We have defined your habits here, and we have about 8 or 9 habits. Whenever you check one off, it gives you feedback saying you're doing great. But when you have nothing checked, the feedback is, that's okay. Tomorrow is another day. Now, let's check off a few habits. When you check off more than a certain number, you are actually completing your habits. Let's check off a few tasks. You will complete your habits. It tells you that well done. Now, there is something interesting here in our favorite section. If you look at the statistics of this page, you will see that yesterday and the previous days, there was no table because there was no one there to tick it, because this is a template. But if I remove the ticks, you will see that the line will be straight today as well. But now if I come back and add a tick, you will see that this chart has, and beautifully you can see how you are doing over the past 30 days. If you are completely done, it is awesome for you. Let's go to the next section. We'll go to finance. In finance, we can easily add new income, new expenses, new subscriptions, new savings or preferences, new debts, new budgeting, and anything else. And here we can see our accounts, where we see our main wallet, our main account. It has so much balance, so much total income, and finally we see that we have paid so much debt. This is your total balance, which is the sum of all your expenses and income. And finally it says, sir, you have a total of 1,200,000 in your account, and that's great. And we're going to open one of the wallets here, and we're going to see what we have in it. In each wallet, and tells you that this wallet has so much balance, so much debt. You actually paid with this wallet. It comes here and gives you feedback that your work is really great and everything is moving forward correctly with a very neat formula. In this corner, we have a lot of formulas and complexities, but usually you don't have to deal with them at all because the whole system is automated, okay? And you won't get too caught up in these details. Your main focus is just to work with this section. And everything gets calculated automatically. When you add an income, it gets added to this wallet. When you add an expense, it gets deducted from this wallet. When you add a subscription, and so on, everything gets calculated here without you needing to do anything. And now I can use this button here. I can say, hey, let me add a new income. So I'm adding an income here. For example, I say that I just spent $879 on buying something like a new laptop. And what's the source of this income? Where did this income come from? Actually, excuse me, I'll call it new sales here. New sales? Business Hub. In Business Hub, I sold this and selected its source like a receipt. We have two wallet and can add more. This checks if it happened this month or earlier. And the thing is, they tick it themselves. It's a simple formula that just wants to check if it happened this month or the previous month or whatever. You have nothing to do with this. And now if I come here and add this and that, I want to go into the internal pages that we put in the upper left corner. And now I added one more. The expense is the same. The subscriber is the same. And finally, now we're going to go ahead and tell you. In fact, we have a bucket list of things to do. So you can see what bucket lists we have to do this month, that if we click this down, it will go away from this page. You can see that it goes away. Now I'll press Ctrl-Z. If you check it, the page will go to next month. Now if we have a look, there are a few connections here that show what category this bucket list belongs to, what its classification is, and how quickly I want to reach it. From when to when. Once it's complete, I can set the date and so on. Now we'll close this. We don't need it anymore. And we'll go further down here. Here, we can see the books we are currently reading and their progress, which is being displayed with a very straightforward and uncomplicated formula. We can very easily add new books. See the book page added, and I can add a book very easily. For example, I can say that the number of pages is 900, for example. If I read 25 pages, for example, it shows 3% progress. I can give it my rating. I can specify its genre, and I can give it more details. And for example, I can say that the author, the synopsis, the start, the ending. For example, I'll put the start bar. Then if it's finished, I'll adjust the ending. For example, I'll say it's finished on a certain day. And when I put the beginning and endings, you'll specify the beginnings and the endings, and you'll get some feedback here, which tells you that from the day you started to the day you finished, on average, because you had 900 pages, you read an average of 9 pages per day. Now, if I change my ending, for example, I bring my ending forward, it says you read 60 pages per day. And again, if I change this, I bring it later, for example, oops. For example, if I set it here, it says you read 82 pages a day, which is a good thing. This site gives you great insights. And here you can easily add your books, whatever you want. In summary, it shows the total number of books we have and how many books we've completed so far, which is also a nice feature. You can add more things. Next is the bookmark section. We have our bookmark categories showing bookmark counts per category. For example, how many in social media, how many in learning materials. Here, see your favorites. And if you add one current seed to a new seed of books, it will be displayed here very easily. I'm adding this. For example, I'll add a bookmark with URL nimblegod.com. I put nimblegod.com. And here you go, that it came in my recents. My recents come based on what? Based on what is shown to you from a week ago. And that's a good thing. Now, I can make this clear. Let me say, for example, that this bookmark is priority, for example, and I can say that this is also a favorite because it was in your favorite. Now I can say that. What category is this bookmark? I select its category. For example, I say, pay attention to this news blog. And I choose the news blog category. I close this. And now you can see that I added a bookmark. And it quickly counts how many bookmarks you have in each category. Let's go to the next section, where you can take a quick look at your workouts. For example, it will tell you that you've done 11 workouts so far, and you've done 299 minutes of workouts in total, including these workouts. You can easily add a new workout from this summary. If you click the new button, the default one will be added for you. But if this is not the case, you can add any of the pre-made programs you have. Now I'll show them on their own pages later. Now finally, we can choose full body, lower body, or back. For example, I say core and it adds a core workout for me. Then I enter the number of minutes. For instance, I can say that this session lasted a total of 67 minutes and the date is specified. This is linked to its routine, and we can check the routine. It shows what exercises are included and where they come from. The exercises come from the core routine. Now, I open the core routine, and you can see that I've added it here. Since I've set a program for it, it shows me one of those. We'll see more of these later. And finally, it shows you this. We did the core workout again, and overall, we worked on the core for 67 minutes. Now, we're going back to this journey, and we're closing this journey. Oops, it went up high. Unfortunately, I need to bring it down. And here we have our workouts. Now look, when we came back, it shows 366 minutes because of that 67 minutes. And the total workouts are increasing as well. Now, for example, if I move this workout around and duplicate it like this, you can see it here. Now consider that we are only showing workouts based on this filter that I have set from today or later. I don't always show everything or just show from today onwards, meaning I show you the plan you have, not anything older than today. Or, for example, if I bring this here, you can see that I'm showing the upcoming days. In the end, it will count for you again, showing that you have 14. And I can easily add the time as well. For example, we see that if I just say For example, I worked on the lower body. I simply prepared the plan in advance. I can edit the plan whenever I want. And for example, I say that I practice for 450 minutes, which you can see here is 816 minutes. And the most practice we had was the lower body. And so from the worksheet on the first page, you can see that this entire first page gives you a general idea. And you can completely manage the things that are going on in your life. This extra thing is that you have the tasks you are working on right now, the projects you are working on right now, the goals you are currently pursuing, the habit you need to check off today. Your financial plan doesn't provide extra information. It shows your bucket lists, books you are reading, and those you've read. It highlights bookmarks and offers a workout overview. On the left side, we have tasks, goals, finances, books, bookmarks, and workouts. Here you can see that I mentioned I'm working on this video. Thank you for your patience. Now, for example, I'm going to open productivity. I'm only going to open productivity, habits, finance, and finally workouts. I won't open the rest because this video is getting quite long. I might show you just a little bit more. But right now, I want to focus on productivity. Now, how do I explain it to you? Look, this is the same task that we created on the first trip, and we're seeing it here too. And it's showing how it relates to projects, etc. If you remember, we selected this task from the project, and it's already doing its job here. It's working. If the task is currently closed, it means there's no check in the backlog. And starting from tomorrow, if there's a task coming up that definitely needs to be done urgently, it will show here. It will display the projects that are coming up soon, the ones that are currently in progress, and the projects that are set to come our way this month for us to complete. So we need to keep an eye on these to start working on them. This is also a good reminder. Here's a general idea of a task that will stay on this month so you can see what tasks we have. Now I've arranged these like this. We can move these around and move them between weeks and between days very easily. And we plan our tasks on the calendar. Now here we have our categories for our tasks and plans. Here we have our categories. We have folders for our tasks. For example, if a plan is in the backlog, it's very easy to have it. All the things you're not sure about and want to keep, you're keeping them here. Or for instance, if you want to see your tasks month by month, this is a great place to do that. You can see the base for the month and so on, and you can keep creating more years and months as you go along. For example, if I open January, it shows me, hey, for January you have this, and for February it says you have these, and so on. Now I can look at the dates to see how things are going. For instance, it says you have no plans right now. I'll close this. All the projects, those that it hasn't started yet, because those progress indicators show the ones that are completed, unlike the one at the top that I showed you, which only displayed a single ticker. And now, for example, if we want to see the categories, it will say, for example, what plans do we have for the house? What plans do we have for the personnel that are complete? And in to-do, what plans do we have for work that are complete? And in to-do, what plans do we have for everything? For example, the ones based whatever one we have. And now here you can add as many as you want easily through new, or duplicate them from these very easily. We have a series of these insights down here that, for example, come to it and say that you have worked for 700 hours so far. Very good. In the group, it comes to say that you have done so far. You have done so many things. You have listed so many things. We know that you have completed 16 or 30 of them, but in fact 37 of them still do not have a status. For example, we see the projects here and say what percentage has not been started. What percentage of this project is in progress? And in total, it says you had 14 projects. And it analyzes your time on a month-by-month basis so that we can see why you had the analysis. We see that the 2nd of November, we have approximately 4,600 Karim's work, and this time I will count all of it. In 2024, you work 5,000 hours, and in 2025, 1,000 hours. This provides an overview of your work hours. We have new task and new project buttons. Let's overview habits. In habits, we have a section showing today's tasks, just like on the dashboard, providing an overview of your habits. For a complete view of the past 12 months, it shows your progress. To see everything, go to the side. Now, you can go into the past week where you can check off your habits from last week and easily complete your tasks. If you want to change your habits, you can easily open this, change the name of your habits and the icon to whatever you like. Or if you want to change the category or delete it, you can do that too. Just remember that when you do this, it should come up here. In fact, click here in the progress bar, click Edit Properties, change this number 9 to the number of your habits. That is, if you have 20 habits, enter the number 20 here, and if you have 9 habits, you enter the number 9 here to perform the final calculations. That's the only thing you need to do when you delete or add a habit or anything else. You don't need to do anything else. You just need to change this number here so it can easily perform the calculations like dividing by 100 and multiplying by percentages. And actually, this is why it shows the correct progress. Let's move on. We close this habit, and now we also have a series of habits for which we have goals, meaning we want to say what our goal is with these habits. For example, we say that we want to improve our health and build a better physique for ourselves. So, as a result, we have these habits. And now we're going to break it down exactly what's happening. Just like that. For example, I came here. You can see exactly that I have a balanced diet, I have exercise, I have a quality sleep, I have a hydrate. And it's all the same to these goals. And here, if I open this up, you can see that it only shows those 4 habits. In these 127 days that you have tracked so far, how successful have you been? And in fact, these habits have shown you the right way. Now we see this below. Monthly in the form of months, we see the same thing as we do in February, for example. How did we act in February? Or for example, how did we perform in March? Well, March is still empty here, but if we check January, we can see that we have exactly 30 habits, and it creates one for you every day. You don't need to do anything for this, and here we can beautifully see our habits month by month. Here, we break down our habits to explain to ourselves what each habit means. For example, we say that a balanced diet means having 3 nutritious meals a day and being active. This helps us remember what we mean by a balanced diet, and it assists us in keeping track. We have habit analysis here. All of our habits are analyzed here. When you change the name of a habit, for example, practice gratitude, and change its name, it will change here too. There is no need to manipulate it here anymore. And this is the archive that you can see on Discord and all time. How has your habitat progressed? Now we're waiting for it to load. For example, you know that your habits can be displayed in a very beautiful way. You can see how your habits has progressed month by month, from the beginning to the present day, from the oldest to the newest. You can also change it very easily with sort, from the newest to the oldest. And this is very beautiful, meaning you can easily come from here, check your habits, and click, and it's done. And now this page is so heavy that it's going to be a disgrace, so let's get rid of it. And this page that I'm showing you now is an important page, and you shouldn't delete it because it contains data, and everything is connected to it. We'll close this page too, and go to Finance and Finance. This page is a bit heavy. There is a lot of data on this page. Now in the next versions, I want to make it lighter again in different ways, but I think in this version it is very good, clean and attractive. Now here you have quick actions again. It is very easy. You can do it without scrolling at all. Add all this information up quickly. Again, you have these. These are exactly the parts that we have in the account now. But when we go down, it starts to show how many accounts or wallets you have, what their status is, how many monthly fees you have in all these accounts. What has been your average monthly growth across all your accounts? How much has your income or savings or budget increased month by month? Your balance has gone up, and here it shows $234,000 because I just made up some random numbers. We arrive at the first section, which is income and revenue. Here you can see your earnings, specifically your income for this month, and your recent earnings. You can add receipts to specify when they were and indicate the source. For example, you can say that this income came from royalties or that it came from YouTube, and everything gets nicely organized for you. Very easy. For example, if I open this freelance consulting work, it will show all the income I had from finance and consulting. It will show it here quickly. Now, if you see this green number, it will be very easy to say that you had an income of $37,000 from freelance. If you go to the income section, dashboard, month by month, source breakdown, and all of this, you can go to source breakdown. I left it so that for you to use it whenever you need or want to. This also works like a category, but you can see the breakdown better by breaking down your purchases, or you can break down your income month by month and see what income you had each month. You can do this in the same way for yourself, or do whatever you like. Go month by month and see how much you have each month. This is how easy it is to see what you have. And here you can very easily see your monthly income as well as the total. You can also check your last 30 days, and that's it. So now, in the last 30 days, we had this, and it will show you the total income you have. What was your total? You earned $8,000 this month. Here, you enter expenses instead of income and categorize them. Enter an expense and categorize it. You have so many perks, and you spent money on perks, and here it comes and calculates them for you. Now, if you look at the perks, we have perks in this section. Perks are here. It shows that you have spent $116,000 on perks so far. And this is also, it gives you a detailed report. And finally, it comes and tells you how much this month and this clan have spent so far. In this section, the same as expenses, but recurring. Expenses are charged to your card monthly or yearly. Here you can see recent subscriptions, bills, receipts, things that it's coming your way soon, and you'll see that these will be deducted from your card, so keep an eye on it. It gives you a heads up. Now, you can see your active subscriptions that you need to pay month by month, and everything here is automated. You just need to specify the initial cost, which is the amount that gets deducted from your card each period. For example, if I open the subscription, I spend $1,000 and it automatically calculates lifetime spent and monthly expenses and all of this. And you don't have to do anything. And it determines your billing, which is your next billing. If I change the period, say annually, it automatically changes the billing date again, and now I'll calculate it. Come back, and this way, you can easily have all your subscriptions in your hands. Here you are categorized by how much you pay a subscription fee for each category. For example, you spent $876 on your entertainment expense lifetimes, and then you spent on decorations on a monthly basis, and you have spent $31,913 so far. We go to the budget section. In your budget section, for example, you say that we have an education. For example, you might say, how much budget do you want to allocate for your education? How do you set the budget? You might say, for instance, that you want to dedicate 3% of your total income to education. When you say 3%, or let's say 10%, it will tell you how much your budget is based on the total amount of money you've earned so far. Now we have more formulas in this corner that we can see that take all of this from the main wallet, take our balance, and finally, and here it tells you that so far you've spent $41,000 out of this $103,000, and it gives you feedback saying, "Hey, great job, you've used 61% of your budget," which means you still have 61% left. Now, if I change this number to say 1, it tells me that you've spent all your budget. If I say 2, it tells me that you spent way more than your budget. And now, to get this red indicator to the bottom, you need to choose a number 0. I've set this number here to $100,000. You can change it to $1 million or $10,000. It depends on you. I've set it to $100,000, and this progress bar is displayed based on that. Now, I'll save it. Here, it gives you an overview of your budget on a chart, so you can explore it yourself. Since this video is getting quite long, I don't want to extend it further. I want to quickly show you the work and then move on to life. So, you have your savings. You might say, I want to save some money for a vacation. I want to save some money. So you see that again, I have 1% of it. I want to allocate all the money I have in my account for this vacation. What's the goal? The goal is to set aside $100,000. So when this amount reaches $100,000, I can go on the vacation I have in mind. For example, we say that, so the goal is $4,500, and I want to spend 1% of my total money on this goal. Once this 1% reaches $4,500, I can make the purchase. Right now, that 1% has become $391, so I can go and buy this laptop. I can buy 1 or even 2 if I want, but for now, let's not go overboard. I can just buy 1, and then my goal will be fully achieved. So I've completed my progress 100%, and here most things works with formula. And here we also know that we have feedback, that if you look at it, I close this completely, it gives you feedback. Then I break this feedback down into very small details. It tells you that 10%
Done.
is a good start. You're building momentum. Completed savings. We will go to the next stage. In the next stage, we have tracking for the debts. We will see the same as we look at or see the overlay. So far, 755% of the debts has left to pay. And here we have a neat formula that says we will no longer have any debt and will be debt-free. And here we can very easily add a new debt simply by just clicking on New Page, and it's the same for all sections. For instance, if you open the loan section, it tells you that so far you've paid approximately $6,500 of the $30,000 you borrowed. The interest you are paying is $15,000, so the total is $3,900, which you have to pay back. The money that you actually have to pay back, and $23,000 of this is left, and the 2 dates tell you when you have to pay it. Based on all the formulas here, you don't have to do much with this. You just have to specify your payment start date when it starts and when it is going to end. It will calculate itself based on whether it is 20 years old or 10 years old. That is, if you look at this date, September 23rd or 24th, I would do this now and it would be 16 years old. You can see that the date changes here as well. So first of all, most of your tasks are no longer manual, and you can easily manage everything. You just need to provide the date, the initial investment, and the percentage you're contributing. And you don't need to do anything else. And now, another difference is that if this formula that tells you exactly how much your monthly payment will be reduced every month or every period of these 20 years, if you want to pay an additional fee, It says you add it to the extra monthly payment. You name it. There's a name for it. You add an extra monthly payment. For example, you say, I want to pay $900 more per month. So when you want to give $900 more than the first day, this formula works like this. It counts from the first day. So if you gave this on the first day, there's no money left to spend. If I say I want to pay an extra $90 monthly, it will tell me that $18,000 are left. Now, meaning you want to spend more than what you should be paying. If you want, you can add that extra amount easily. We also have methods like avalanche and snowball, which I'll show you later. And this is our debt section. You can easily add your debts. It shows you how much money you've received from banks, debts, and loans up to this point in time. And it also currently has an analytics section specifically for you. Now we reach the dashboard. For example, if you want to manage your debts based on the avalanche method, you open the avalanche. Well, in Avalanche, as I explained here, it's very easy. For example, it comes and scores your debts based on the Avalanche method. For example, it scored 3. So Avalanche's suggestion is to give this first, then this in order of priority. Or, for example, if I go to the method, let's go up. For example, the model above says that your most expensive debt is based on how much interest are you pay, and these are arranged for you. And well, this is the one you are most pay. So it is better to finish this sooner if this is important to you, or if you want to go based on the snowball method. You look from the smallest debt to the largest, meaning if it gives you a score, it scores 10, then you see this, then you see this. Then you see this, then you see this. That is from small debt to large, you finish the small one, then the next one, then the next one until you reach your largest debt, which means you prioritize the smallest of these. You can do this yourself. Next, I'm going to create a text section that I haven't created yet. I want to add it to the next version. We'll close this and go to the workout. We have the detailed plan here. These are the buttons that you press very quickly. Your plan will be added. You can use the command center to add any plan you need. You can add it from here, or you can duplicate the previous plan. You can duplicate it any way you like. You can add it from here. You can use this button any way you like. Every program you use includes this plan. A full body workout has its plan, and the program is part of it. A lower body workout has its plan too. For back or core workouts, there's a core plan. Each core plan you create includes this program, and changes here will reflect. If I go back and open the core section, it shows 20 here. If I set the reps to 15 or add another plan, it adds here too. Everything is synced. Add any plan with any image. You can also see your progress here. You can see your own gain in the process. See what form your body has been in and see your progress. What has changed in your progress? Do your body measurement, and if you want, you can add properties. And check your workout stats, which we also had on the main page. There's a safety checklist here, so make sure to check it from time to time. For example, ensure that your progress doesn't increase by more than 2.5 to 5% in weightlifting, whether it's with dumbbells, benches, or any equipment you're using. Just be careful not to overdo it. And fuel your gains, which is actually a program that, for example, you know what I use for my lower body training days. In lower body workouts, you might say, I eat meals, snacks, and shakes. For instance, eat or have a shake 2 hours pre-workout. Focus on carbs, protein, fat, and calories. It's the same for post-workout nutrition. This is a nutrition program, not just a meal plan. For supplements, you might say, take a daily vitamin, no cycling involved. You might need C4 or creatine monohydrate 5 grams daily, cycling every 8 weeks with 4 weeks off. More on that later. This is not a diet plan. This is a nutrition plan that you should follow. And here are the supplements. Supplements like daily vitamin, for example. You should take 1 tablet every day, and there is no cycling. And for example, you say you should take C4, or for example, you should take creatine monohydrate 5 grams daily, cycle it every 8 weeks, and 4 weeks off. And finally, now it gives you a series of general workouts. For example, if I open this here, shows again, for example, if you had a note, if you are doing your workout, how many minutes did you do it? And you can easily see your entire workout at a glance. For example, how many minutes did you work in total? If you want, you can easily get a score from here. For example, let's take an average for each month. Just as an example, for instance, we say the average for this month is 450. I'm going back to the dashboard, which is a central hub, and generally, all your immediate needs are met in the dashboard. This means you don't even need to go into the internal pages, as the dashboard conveniently provides all necessary information and tools right at your fingertips. In the internal pages, we have very specific goals, which clearly show your progress. We have the various buckets, the organized bookshelf, and the extremely useful bookmarks. I'm going to open these one by one, and I'll just slowly scroll through them without talking. That's it. We have these important goals. We set our clear objectives with these goals. And that's a wrap. I hope this walkthrough gives you a clear look at how Superlife V2 can simplify your life and boost your productivity. Whether you're managing your goals, tracking your finances, or building better habits, this system is designed to work with you, not against you. If you're ready to start using Superlife V2, you can grab it from Nimbelka. Check out the link in the description. As always, if you have any questions or need help, drop a comment below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.